All right. I'm going to run the intro here, though. Let me see. We are live. Okay, cool. Is that going to pop up? It is. All right, cool. Here we go. Look at my timer. My timer is working. Yo. Hold on, people. Rocky.
You can almost hear the snorts of derision.
Welcome everyone to YouTube, Twitch. Look at dude, Joseph, DOA. Heathen history.
Yeah, I think once upon a time, Debunking might have been one of my employees. I didn't stab the kid. But I tell you what, I wanted to afterwards.
Oh dear.
Safety always off.
But now, archaeology is completely different. Archaeology is science. I'm a scientist. I'm a scientist.
I'm in Egypt.
We have zero evidence as to how old those things are.
Right. That's right.
And when I found that out, I was baffled.
You look like the Indiana Jones girlfriend.
Why can't I be Indiana Jones myself? Why do
You
I have to
can't.
be the girlfriend?
Because I'm Indiana Jones.
Okay, you can be Indiana Jones.
So it's half
A
the
human hair.
size of a human hair.
Within of being perfect.
Of being
within.
perfect.
Yes. So
Holy shit.
He's retarded.
Uncharted X is a great channel.
He gets deep into this stuff, Joe.
I'm sure he does. His YouTube channel is incredible.
I don't waste my time.
Uncharted X.
On YouTube.
and
Somebody's gonna send me money, oh boy!
Oh dear.
Face with Monacle just resubscribed for 15 months. Face with Monacle.
It's MX, man. Thank you so much for 15 minutes. Much appreciated. Over there with Twitch Live. The names of all the gods of war, in case you are wondering.
Wow.
Ben, we gotta bring you in, otherwise you can't talk forever.
It is okay. What's going on, people? Welcome. Thank you for joining me on another stream. I am dual streaming today on Uncharted X Live, my second channel on YouTube as well as on Twitch. Kind of a new thing, particularly for the Uncharted X Live channel. I see some people in the chat there saying edit is okay as long as it doesn't break your attention and you are goldfish like jumping around places. Clearly you've never watched one of my editing streams, or you have because you just accurately described what happens when I edit and stream at the same time. But it's okay. I kind of like doing the edit streams, just a bit of fun for everyone. The only problem is I can't really run background music because YouTube will just copyright strike the hell out of that, and Twitch, funnily enough, provides a mechanism where you can get away with playing whatever music you want because it doesn't get recorded into the VOD. But that's all right. We'll figure it out. But yeah, so what we do on this, I know I streamed live the other day. We did like a podcast live show with the Snake Bros. That was on the main channel. For people that are new to the stream and these streams, very casual. Very, very casual. I have nothing planned. I am working. I just like to, some people like to see kind of how the sausage is made with these videos. So during the edit phase of the video production, let's switch over actually. Let's see, boom. I'm a much smaller me in the corner. But during this editing phase, you know, it's kind of nice. You get a sneak peek of kind of the content that's coming up. You get to see what goes into making some of these videos. And this is obviously the last step in it. Like this, I can tell you this thing, like this script, if I pull up my script, I mean, I might have posted this a little before, but I mean, this is the script for this, right? So there's quite a bit. I think I put this into Word because I put it into my little teleprompter thing. This is a new thing for me, but it's roughly 14,000 words. It's a little longer than my normal scripts, but you know, I want this to be a comprehensive update to the Vase scan project, plus a response to some of the things that have been said about it, as well as a summary of the work that's been done both so far and what it kind of means. So I'm about 8 minutes in. Obviously, you know, the writing of the script and the like the editing and the recording and the, you know, all of the research and you know, I've put together, for example, in here, just as background, as material to select from, you know, to edit this in, like 7.5 hours of clips and images. This is just selected from my many trips to Egypt and different sets of resources and things like that. And I've just been chopping clips and pictures and throw it in here. So the way it kind of works for me is, you know, as I'm going through and I want to select images, rather than going to the root directories and trying to search through all of my many terabytes of footage, I try to collect, you know, spend several hours or a couple of days really, like just collecting all of the resources that I think I might need as I go through and edit it once the script has been done. So, contributed editors. No, I will give credits though. I do the that's funny. What's my computer specs? I will get to that. Actually, I think exclamation mark specs, at least in the Twitch channel, that does work. But it's an interesting point. So let me finish the first one. The first comment about the contributing editors. I do give out credits. So I do producer credits. And these are literally the same producer credits. They work the same way Hollywood credits do. it's something that I'll always vouch for. People can put that stuff on LinkedIn, things like that. But I do executive producer and associate executive producer credits. Generally, it's for people that support, send money in via PayPal or whatever in the higher amounts, and then patrons that are long-term patrons. I try to include those and give out credits. Unfortunately, you guys in the chat don't get the credits. Although I'll tell you what, I'll throw in Twitch chat and Uncharted X live chat as credits in this video. How about that? If I can remember. Yes, I know, Ricardo. It's just a joke. Yeah, I know. But you prompted me to talk about the credits that I give out. Computer specs. It's Legetu's. Yes, he's just posted in there for me. That's nice. Thanks, mate. 13th gen. It's actually 14th gen now because I did do the. It's a 14.9 or whatever. Because I did have that CPU problem that Intel, man, something in my eye. That Intel those really. It was a big deal, actually. Intel had a faulty batch of basically the 13th gen CPUs, and I had one, and I was having problems with it. And I eventually went through the RMA process. It took a while, but I sent them in the old one, and they sent me a new one. I sent them in the old one, and they upgraded me, which was nice. But yeah, 4080, 64 gig of RAM, nice power supply. Yeah, terabyte SSDs, that sort of thing. I've got big spinning drives that I work from, and then I have, network attached storages. I'm actually, once this is finished, one thing I am going to do, just because I want to do it, and I know there's been some interest in it. So much footage to shift through, Joseph. Yes, that's exactly right. Please don't make the sausage. Yeah, I know, right? Stream of consciousness, style editing, got it. Yeah, it's I'm actually going to do a little studio tour. Just one of those little videos like, hey, you want to see what I'm working with here and how everything happens and what the hell's on my shelf over here and what's back there and what's in the cupboards and shit like that and what's my setup. I will do that. I'm going to do that once I'm done with this video, and I'm hoping that I get this video done, I get that video. That video is not going to take long, and then I'm going to do another walk and talk video, and then I'm probably leaving for Egypt. But I am planning to reduce more walk and talks while I'm in Egypt, so I'll be working while I'm over there. 5th gen i5, yeah, I know. I spend, in all seriousness, when I'm at home and I'm in the studio and I'm working, 12 to 15 hours a day sitting here. I'm either outside or I'm here. I don't really spend time in lounge rooms or sitting outside. I'm just working lately, and and it's literally my entertainment. It's also my work environment. So I keep on top of it more or less. I'm already eyeing off the new GPUs, although I'm not going to pay stupid amounts for them, and I'm not going to compete for one. So this works fine. This computer's fine. I got a couple computers actually. What's in the cupboards? That's scary. There's one whole cupboard dedicated to cables from digital cameras. I think we talked about that in the Discord. So 4080, yeah, I got a 4080, not a 4090. The walk and talk videos. Thank you. Do people use their lounge rooms anymore? Mamutos, yes, it is 60 in Cali. Yeah, it is beautiful outside right now. Unfortunately, I'm inside in a dark bloody room in the basement, so I still have a heater back here. Anyway, let's look at the intro. So I've the first 8 minutes of this. Let's see. So I've basically got, this is the. I'm not sure you can hear that. Yeah, you can hear that, right? It's not too loud. And I'm leaving some room. I need some more footage from people. I'm just leaving some room for that little. Sometimes in the longer videos, I do little clip highlight intros of vases and scanning, because there's been lots of vases and scanning that's happened apparently. Have you covered that window yet? Yeah, there is it is covered. The sun still comes through though. I've basically got a sheet over it on the outside. I got the shits with it one day because I had cardboard. The windows are over there, and it's hard to get to, and I need to put some blinds up. I've never done it. I just got annoyed with it, so I went and staple gunned an old sheet to the outside of the window. But obviously the light still comes through. It's no big deal. Anyway, so there'll be an intro, and then it kicks in here. But this will give you the premise for the video, and the initial tone of it, and then we'll keep editing, right? I'm just going to play this. Welcome back to Uncharted X. This is Ben, and I hope everyone is doing well. It's time to revisit the Vase scan project, as over the last 12 months, quite a lot has happened, and it's been a fair while since I last addressed it on this channel. I'm reversing. Believe it or not, my last dedicated Vase scan project video was back in November of 2023, and I didn't get out an update at all for all of 2024, so let's fix that. The project has definitely been making some waves, and there's been plenty said about it. And while plenty of that was frankly nonsense, I'm going to take some time to respond to the major critical talking points.
Always a good day when that happens.
We'll also speed run through a recap of the work that's been done so far and discuss what those results mean. We'll catch up on what's happened with the project in 2024 because a lot has happened.
Look at this shit, huh?
And I'll also share some info on the future plans for the Vase scan project, as believe me, good things are in the works. The TLDR of it is, many more vases have been scanned, including vases in museums. Those scans have been analysed and the results are very revealing. And this work has all led to some incredible and very exciting opportunities for 2025. In my opinion, this project is up there as some of the most important work currently happening in the ancient Egyptian space. And it's something that should already be having a tremendous impact on our understanding of history. And personally, it's been quite an honour to be involved in it at all and to be in a position to report on it. So I've been working on this one for quite some time, and looking at the massive script that I've written, it's somewhere in the region of around 14,000 words. This video is going to be a
we're going to
long
get into the forgery
so
topic.
Please do use the chapters or the timestamps below if you feel the need for it. My goal for this video is to be a comprehensive summary of the project work that's happened so far, a response to some of the things that have been said about it, and an update on the recent work that's happened over the last 12 months, stuff that's not yet been discussed. So I hope you'll stick around and join me as I get everyone up to speed.
I feel like I'm just repeating myself there, but whatever.
Project.
Are most of them precise on
As
the
usual,
insides on
I
the
don't
outside?
really do video sponsorships.
It's hard to study
I
the
prefer to rely
insides, but
on the value
from what we have
model.
can
so
tell,
if you do get some value from my channel
seem
or
to
from
be.
my work, please do consider returning some of that value to me, be it in time, talent, or treasure. Whatever it means to you, any level of support is always greatly appreciated. It helps me to keep doing what I'm doing, as well as keeping the lights on around here. All the ways to support Uncharted X are outlined on my website. It's unchartedx.com/support.
Very small e-begging.
For higher
section.
levels of support, I do give out executive producer
As we were
credits.
talking
They're
about.
real credits. They work exactly the same way Hollywood credits do, and I'll always vouch for them. Thank you, Adam Curry, for the idea. Just a quick update on some of the upcoming events that I'll be attending. There are still a couple of spots available for our Turkey tour in April of this year. On this tour, we'll be getting into some sites that I've never been to before, and it promises to be a great time.
Right.
Check it out at unchartedx.com/Turkey2025 if you're interested. I've also got several speaking engagements coming up if you want to catch me live talking about vases and the other mysteries of our past. I've got a lecture, workshop, and a panel appearance at the New Living Expo that's being held in the San Francisco Bay Area from May 9th to 11th. I'll be returning to the Cosmic Summit in Greensboro, North Carolina, June 20 to 23rd. And then we're holding a very specific vase-oriented event in New York City. It's called an Evening at the Explorers Club. There's a chance to join us on a tour of the Metropolitan Museum, which has a great ancient Egyptian section, and then it'll be an evening of drinks, dinner, and lectures at the nearby Explorers Club. Promises to be a very fun evening,
memento,
and
that's
tickets are
fine.
strictly limited. Links to the info and tickets on all of these events are below in the video description. Okay, ancient Egyptian vases. Let's do a quick overview. So there are these ancient vessels that come from Egypt. They range in size from small to quite large. They're dated generally from pre-dynastic times right up into the Old Kingdom, essentially before and during the very early parts of the ancient Egyptian civilization. As a broad generalization, they're frankly incredible. Typically made from very hard stone, granite, diorite, porphyry, the list goes on, and many of them have remarkable attributes, incredible symmetry, delicate wall thickness, and overall quite an amazingly high level of manufacturing. There are also tens, if not hundreds of thousands of them. And yes, those numbers are correct, although there are some weirdos on the internet that seem to want to dispute this. I'd estimate that there are probably around, if not more than, 100,000 of them in circulation today. Huge numbers of them have been found, as is reported in the literal archaeological record from guys like Jean-Philippe Loyer, who excavated beneath the step pyramid of Saqqara in the mid-1900s. He recovered and documented between 40 and 50,000 of them coming from just that one spot.
Yeah, small
This
ones are strange,
isn't
aren't they?
speculation, it's fact, and it's stated in textbooks, in museums, and
Yes,
it
there's
isn't
a
remotely
chance.
controversial. What's crazy is that Jean-Philippe Loyer wasn't even the first guy excavating the step pyramid. He was just the first one to document it properly. Who knows what was taken out of there in the decades before he began his work.
What money?
great
Somebody's going to
Flutus
send me
Petrie
money, old boy!
Mr. Ladman, thank you so much for the Prime sub, dude. Cheers. Yeah, if you've got Prime subs over there on Twitch, don't let that money burn a hole in good old Jeff Bezos' pocket. Give it to a creator. Doesn't cost anything. Collected several thousands of these vases over his long career, and when I say questions, let's just hit that first. We'll keep going. So Memento Mori, and don't apologize for this. Fine. Some of the vases are precise on the inside as they are on the outside. Again, like I said, scanning structured light, you scan the outside. It's like you can't really get on the inside to scan stuff. CT X-ray, you can get the insides, so we do have some that you can see the inside profiles. You get a bit of backscatter doing that, and you got to clean those scans up. I talk a bit about that in this video, actually. Yes, it's possible, and yes, they seem consistent. And like if you look at the Danville inspection video, we did things like checking consistency of wall thickness. So we would measure with calipers around sections inside the wall, and those seem to be within like 1,000th of an inch or so of each other. So it tells you, yes, it's very consistently machined on the inside relative to the outside. And the small vases are quite weird. And Legetu over in Twitch asked, is there any chance of scanning one of those tiny vases? Yes, there is. In fact, the wheels are in motion to get into some of the, I guess the Holy Grail museums to do some of this work. We'll see. Like, this is some of the stuff that's coming up this year. Ricardo Patrizia, you in touch with Matt Beale with respect to his collection of vases? Yes, of course. Yes. No, I am weirdos. No, weirdos aren't. I'm not referring to Dan, to be honest. In fact, I've got no problem with what Dan does. I know we just put a video out about these vases again. I don't mind disagreeing with people as long as things are done respectfully. And he's always a guy that seems to do that respectfully. I have no problem with him. It's mostly the people that can't manage to be respectful. And there are some people like he's not disputing that there's 40 or 50,000 of them. There is some particular weirdos that do seem to take umbrage with that figure. I have no idea why. People pick the strangest hills to die on. It's literally documented. It's not controversial. It's literally the mainstream record on this stuff, as verified by a whole bunch of people, and I'm talking about it here. But I do talk about some of the critical takes on this stuff as we get into it. So, and look, honestly, I as much as, and Dan's fine, I don't do reaction content. I don't really respect reaction content. This is my personal opinion. I talk a little bit about that later in this video. People are going to take it for whatever they want. I don't really care. And yeah, Ricardo, of course. I mean, I'm good friends with Matt Bell. I mean, he basically created, he collected the vases because of these videos when they first came out. Yeah, I mean, I've visited with him several times, and I mean, a lot of this footage is me playing with his collection. Shermanator Osborne, man, the $5 on Uncharted Live. Thank you so much for the super chat, dude. For your valued endeavors, well done. I appreciate that. You have a question about the bottom of the vase. There's no practical reason to not make the bottom flat. Have you considered put one in the water, see how they float into their particular floating properties? I don't know if anybody's done that particular thing just yet, but I think a lot of people seem to think the bottoms are slightly bowed. There are ones that definitely have very flat bottoms and flat tops, but a lot of them do spin. If you spin them, they have, they have a center point that they spin on. Even ones that look like they have a flat surface, they'll still spin when you spin them. And then, of course, there are ones like the spinner vase where it's literally a millimeter or less of the surface that's actually touching, and it's just perfectly balanced on that point, and it can spin forever, which is, well, I'm sure we'll use that clip in here at some point. But let's keep going here, and we'll get to the editing part. But I will do my best to keep up with questions, and we can discuss this as we go. Matt did the float tests. Only one floats. Oh, he did. Okay, I don't know. Yeah, I don't keep up with what everyone is doing all the time. Over his long career. And when I say collected, that term includes buying already recovered stone vases from local vendors who were selling them in market. In fact, I'm going to let this run. It's got another 3 or 4 minutes. I'm just going to go get a coffee refill because I need it, and I'll be right back, chat. All right. It's in the late 1800s. So there turns out there was already a thriving private antiquities market in full swing well over 100 years ago. Some reports from the early 1900s claim that between 1,000 and 2,000 vases were extracted from sites like Saqqara in a single day. Damn near every museum with an Egyptian section has a collection of these vases, and hell, I know of private collectors with as many as 300 of these artifacts today, and no, I'm not talking about Matt Bell here. So, long story short, there are lots and lots of them, and that's just a fact. As mentioned, the history of these vases, dishes, and vessels go way back in time, and given their technical sophistication and our orthodox view of the history of human civilizations, they make no sense whatsoever. These artifacts go well back into pre-dynastic times. And again, this isn't remotely controversial to say. Pre-dynastic means exactly that, before dynastic Egypt, which began with the first 2 dynasties known as the Archaic Age, somewhere around 3000 BC, roughly 5,000 years ago. In the pre-dynastic sections of museums all around the world, you'll find examples of these precision-made hardstone vases. The fact that many of these vases existed in said pre-dynastic times is the mainstream archaeological opinion. And this is because they've been found in pre-dynastic burials from all over Egypt, as well as on Old Kingdom sites like Saqqara and Giza. While many of these vases have also been found in 2nd, 3rd, and 4th dynasty burials, places like beneath the Step Pyramid at Saqqara, they're also known to have come from pre-dynastic or archaic age times, as they have poorly scratched inscriptions on them that relate them to those earlier times. Of course, anyone with a modicum of logic would find it hard to say that the person who did this primitive scratching into a perfectly made hardstone object was the same
Chair looks
person
comfy.
who made
Chair
it,
stream.
but that's the way Egyptology works.
Yes, this chair is comfy. It is, and it's if people recognize. I spent a lot of time in this freaking chair, so I've spent some money on it. I did buy a nice chair.
Writing is preferentially used to date objects, even if it seems to be a later defacing or graffiti that's been primitively made into a superior artifact.
Here we go. We have it to ourselves. Very nice. You know what we need to do? We do need to add in a little text here. In fact, Adobe, let's get Creative Cloud going, because that's the only way I get my text right. We just need to add in a little wordage. Let's see. I need to grab it from. Where is it? There it is. So there must be some text in here somewhere, I'm sure of it. Thank you. Except that's a shitty text. Oh, I did put that in there. I forgot I put that in there, like, in this clip I had, why is all this offline? Oh, it's because it's me talking, that's right. It doesn't matter. Yeah, so this was like the studio. The room's a bit of a mess here, but yeah, this is where I'm sitting now. And this is when I cut a hole in my desk so I could put this damn microphone boom stand into there. I taped it. I was attacking it with like one of those oscillating saws, making a big mess. All right, I can't see this here. It doesn't matter. Let's just do it, man. I'll do it the old-fashioned way. Go voice of Yusuf A1, and we'll also do
Graphics and titles, window, workspaces, captions and graphics. We want Babus new irregular. Oops, Babus irregular. There we go. And I always have to do this shit. Stroke, we'll have black. Okay. Outer. Let's do a small shadow. And that ought to do it. And then we just need to change the size. And then we also need to do this. Imhotep Museum, Saqqara, and then we do this, put it there. We also will do, let's see, opacity. Oh, error. YouTube is not receiving enough video. Did YouTube crash? We're still good. Might just be like doing a bit of this. It'll come back. If it does, I mean, it's look, I'm on a, it's just the reality of my connection is, well, the upload speed should be plenty, but contextualization, yeah, I mean, doing the in-hours, what are you talking about? Where is it? Where is opacity here? Appearance, fill, stroke, background, shadow. This is shadow opacity. Here we go, opacity. All right. Align and transform. We need. Why is this not? Where's my slider bar here? For Christ's sake. Do like 60%. We'll do 0%. Okay, there it does work. Let's go 50%. That's fine. And then same for you. Let's go 50. We'll do this. Okay. Window, workspaces, editing. Try that again. Actively made, actually, before we do that. Someone mentioned transitions. I use transitions constantly but in that intro, I don't mind the jump cuts in the intro, to be honest, the intro video, and it's at this point the intro video is just done. Boy! Joseph Renner just subscribed. Thank you so much for the sub, dude. The Prime sub. Appreciate it. Let's see. Still good? Okay. It does seem like everyone is unique. We don't know if everyone's unique. I think some of them are quite probably identical. In fact, it's a study I'd like to get to, and if I can, one of these days, not in this video, but another one, I will look at, like, here's the OG vase, and here's like several that look almost exactly like it, as far as I can tell. Yeah, Heimholtz resonators is a possibility. I'm just catching up on chat on the YouTube side. Seen the 4 Long Mile fort enclosure. I don't know anything about it. The video editing tutorial is also a yes, you get some video editing tutorial from a journeyman editor. I'm definitely not an expert, but I've been doing it for a long time. It's funny that I had this conversation. I did a podcast yesterday with Demystify Sci-Fi, and we got into the Baghdad battery topic. But anyway, let's watch this little section in the Imhotep Museum, because I'm talking about these vases that have the rewriting on them here. That's the way Egyptology works. The writing is, and then we'll get into editing at the end of this here, to date objects, even if it seems to be a later defacing or graffiti that's been primitively made into a superior artifact. Imhotep. Did I spell it wrong? Yes, thank you so much.
Imhotep. Correct, you are. Thank you. This is why I pay you the big bucks.
Have it to ourselves. Very nice.
When they closed it, I was worried that they were not going to do this display once again.
Yeah.
Because this display
Tells
is
you
so
the
much
truth.
on our side
It is,
of the story.
It really
And
is.
it is divided by the academics themselves. Like there are the writings of, I believe also, the archaeologist that was working here, Loire, when he started finding things of the archaic age, or like the vases with the archaic age names on it.
Yeah.
He said like they were more advanced than we think.
Yeah.
Because of the artifacts.
Correct.
But this is one conclusion.
That is Imhotep.
Yes, that was
He's also
Look
the one
at
who
this
came
one
up
here.
Jean-Philippe
with how to make
Loyen.
the alabaster vases.
Yeah, I mean, it's...
It has two names of two different kings as well. Ni-Neter and Hatshepsut. The two names
Yeah.
there in the back.
What's
So- It shows that it was being passed from one to the next, and then they ended up in the galleries underneath Zoser's pen.
Well, yeah, this is why they had to say up here that they were heirlooms, right? They know a lot of them came from the Archaic Age, and they were buried in a third dynasty structure, or beneath one.
Okay, now we're back into it. Let's go. As mentioned, many of them have also been found directly in pre-dynastic burials. And these range from the Naqada culture that preceded the dynastic Egyptians in the millennia before 3000 BC, and as far back as to the Neolithic Stone Age peoples of... It's technically not the Stone Age if they're using pottery. I don't know. 15,000 years ago seems like Neolithic Stone Age to me. But this is where we get into the Toshka stuff. So we definitely dive into Toshka here. Of Kush, which is the area made up today by northern Sudan and southern Egypt. Now, okay, so now we need to collect some more materials here. In the stupid way that I do this, let's see what we've got. Okay, yep. So this is like the actual editing part now, where we're going to have to drop back to... In fact, why don't we close this project for now? I think we changed it. We did, yes. Change it. Okay, good. All right. Now we can do this. And I feel like somewhere here, let's clear it out. There is... We got into the museum over at the Imhotep Museum, not the Imhotep, the Aswan, the Nubian Museum. I know I put some Nubian museum stuff in here somewhere. This is my Mark Vist interview, John Anthony West. I think that's over here. Yeah, let's have a look here. That's Mark Vist. Yeah, okay, so this is I think it's in these pictures here we need to get to. We're also going to need the burial. I think I have the burial stuff. Let's see. Paleolithic period. Where did I get to the museum? Okay, we have that. Prehistory. Oops. Let's have a look. What does this say? Okay, let's start. This is prehistory. I mean, I'm not really... Paleolithic period. Toshka. Yeah, so maybe we just... Let me grab this, and then we'll grab... I know there's a picture of... Badawi.
my buddy, Mr. Badawi. Let's just put this in here for now. And then we will go and get... Yeah, okay, so it's in here somewhere. Where's this image? So Madeline, she was on tour with us, this blonde girl. She's like 20, attractive girl, but then all these, obviously the Egyptian girls were fascinated by her, just her hair and everything. They would like kind of just being really friendly, giving her flowers and stuff outside the Nubian Museum. The people in Aswan and the south of Egypt, Luxor, Aswan, they're really lovely people. It's much nicer than Cairo. Cairo's fine, but you know, it's a hustle and bustle of the giant city. But these other areas outside of there are much more relaxed. You know, I really enjoy being in Aswan and in the south. The people there are super friendly. They'll help you. Like literally just honor, like literally they grow up teaching men about being honorable and honest and forthright and respecting people, respecting the women, all that sort of stuff. So it's, you know, it's not, yeah, so this is like Toshka. Yeah, we have some pictures here. So let's just grab these. We'll just shove it in here and hope for the best. Whoops. Oh, God, why? And then see what else I know I've dumped a bunch of stuff in here that I can already use. Sorry, I know this is helter-skelter, but this is the way it goes, unfortunately. We can get rid of that. I always love showing this. Let's put that in there too, why not? Let's see. You guys are chatting. I will stop for super chats just to say, I mean, whatever, but I'm going to try and catch what's being said in the chat as well. Yeah, you can't really touch a lot of the stuff. There are big vases you can put your hands on, and you're not supposed to. Camera gear is always too much. No way around having a great backpack that opens from the backside. Right. Yeah, it's right. It's right. So it must be from that. That's BC. That's exactly how it works, pretty much. Okay. I think we're okay here. Let's grab that. Grab this. And we do need to grab the Toshka stuff as well. Let's just start grabbing all that. And we'll get our slides too, for that matter. Where am I going to get my slides from? Let's see. Okay, let's go to this. Do I have it in vases? That's the question. Do I have my Toshka vase? Yes, I do. Okay. Probably throw this stuff in, to be honest. Some of these slides. Let's grab those two for now. I do want to throw this in somewhere. Where is this unquestionably pre-dynastic? Where was that section? It was back over here, wasn't it? Ah, for fuck's sake. Okay, let's just put it in here. So when were we talking pre-dynastic? here somewhere, right? They make no sense whatsoever. These artifacts go well back into pre-dynastic times. And again, this isn't remotely controversial to say. The fact that many of these vases existed in said pre-dynastic times is the mainstream archaeological opinion. And this is because they've been found in pre-dynastic burials from all over Egypt. Yeah, we'll just bung it on the end here, I guess. Less of my face, but better, frankly. So it's a little different to how I normally record videos with this. I actually have a teleprompter now, which uses an iPad to reflect the thing. It's really cool. But it lets me, like, instead of just doing the voice recording for the script, I can sit here and do the video recording, which means instead of needing to fill in every gap with B-roll of other footage, I can come back to my face, which, I mean, I'm like, it's good or bad, it's my face, it might drive people away. But at the same time, it makes the editing process a little bit easier. And to be honest, I think it's maybe a bit more engaging just to actually have my face talking to you. Seems to be a lot of YouTube works that way. I don't know, you guys tell me what you think. So you can see in between the gaps where there's content, like here, archaeological opinion. It's gonna, and this is because they've been found in pre-dynastic burials from. So my face pops in, you know. And so what we'll do here though is I do like to just clip from here to, and then we do a one to there. We get rid of that. We do a film dissolve just so we can keep it clean and we're not like rendering multiple logical opinion. And this is because they've been found in pre-dynastic burials from all over Egypt, as well as on Old Kingdom sites like Saqqara and Giza. While okay, very good. Now, up today by Northern Sudan and Southern Egypt. So we have the these over here. Is this stuff any useful? Let's just get rid of it for now. Put that in there. This was the Toshka thing. We do need to get more Toshka. Now I think I've got it in this presentation from CPAC. Yes, Nakata. Yeah, let's grab this stuff as well. I wonder, can we do like a full screen thing here? What happens if I do this? It's not what I wanted. How do I change this? Display settings. Swap presenter and slideshow. Okay, there we go. How can we turn off? There we go. Jesus Christ. Stop. Alright, things went nuts then. Okay, fine. I think I just have to make some screen grabs here real quick. Windows Shift S. Go paint. Control V. Control S. Let's call this Nakata. JPEG. Do this to these Toshka ones as well. Dabod. Let's just make this. Actually, we can just grab it from here. That's fine. I think when I do the screen grabs, you probably can't see what I'm doing, but that's all right. Why are you so big? S. Dabod. And then Toshkush, Northern Sudan. Shoot this. NBS Toshka. More. Kush. I think that's it. Okay. My tinfoil hat on subject is Sumerian depictions of the kings and the ancient Egyptians are one and the same. Yeah, potentially. 5-axis CNCs only started being viable in the early 2000s. That's interesting. I didn't know that. I've been wondering about that, actually. When 5-axis CNCs... shame on you.
Shame on you!
Didn't do that. Steve Swift. Fancy seeing you here. Indeed. Welcome. Twitch paused, but is back. Yeah, I mean, it's just going to be what it'll be. I don't have the stats. I mean, I just see YouTube giving me errors, but whatever. Leads you to be an Anunnaki nerd. I'm not sure I'll ever be an Anunnaki nerd. I just think Sitchin's just making shit up. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. Is that it? That's it. All right. Okay, I feel a little more able to do what we need to do here. Oops. Fucking. Problem with this bloody being so long is you just have to... Come on. There we go. Constantly be zooming in and out, you know? Which is the area made up today by... in the millennia before 3000 BC and as far back as to the Neolithic. I actually have the Nakata thing here, so we're going to do that instead. Where is Nakata? The fuck? Oh, that's huge. That's why. Okay, never mind. I nearly spat the dummy there. Egyptians in the millennia before, Carter culture that preceded the dynastic Egyptians. In the millennia before 3000 BC and as far back as to the Neolithic Stone Age peoples of Kush, which is the and as far back as to the Neolithic Stone. Okay. Stone Age peoples of Kush, which is the area made up today by northern Sudan and southern Egypt. These cultures date as far back as some 15,000 years ago. And yes, hard stone artifacts were 100% found in burials like Toshka. See Toshka. Some 15,000 years ago. And yes, hard stone artifacts were 100% found in burials like Toshka that have been carbon Okay. We're going to make this a little longer so people can read it. I'm going to set the frame size. That have been carbon-14 dated to those times. You can quite clearly see the stone vessels in the photographs that were taken of these excavations around 1905. Is there any more of these that we need? Did we use this one? Yes. That'll work. Five. In several of these photographs, which are on display in the Nubian Museum in Aswan, Egypt, the stone vessels are readily apparent, contrasting against the primitive pottery. And you can even see these. There is one here that's like this one here. We're going to use this again, just to. In fact, we might even just zoom in on this. And use a red arrow here. And you can even see the stone texture on some of them. Like, that's totally stone. Like, look at this. This is stone. There's just no question. In fact, and so what's interesting here, and I'll get into this, is that this is an imitation vessel right here. It's an imitation stone vessel. Like, what the fuck? And that just doesn't make any sense, by the way. I mean, just if you consider what imitation vessels are all about and why they exist. You don't imitate things that you don't know or you don't have. You know what I mean? Like, you have to know about something to imitate it, kind of deal. I should like do one of these swoopy arrow things, but whatever. I think this makes the point. Because, yeah, people have made videos about the fact that there's no texture on there's no records of this stuff. And I get it. Not only that, but you can also see imitation. Yes. Okay, let's go. Position size, and then we go. And we do this. And then we pop up another red arrow. Control C, Control V. Do one of these. Let's see what that looks like. You can even see the stone texture on some of them. Not only that, but you can also see imitations of stone vessels in these burials. This pottery vessel in this photograph, which is very similar to Cool. Catch up on chat. Cylinder seals blow your minds. Yeah, cylinder seals are interesting, aren't they? It's funny, the British Museum, they have pre-dynastic burial with a lug-handled vase sat in this spot. Yes, they have many of those. Many of them. With these royal graves. Not pre-dynastic. I mean, they're definitely vessels and pottery found at Nabta Playa. I don't actually know what was in Nabta Playa. Other than the stones, they've now, they've moved all that stuff, right? The Nabta Playa stuff's now at the Aswan Museum. They yeeted it all out of there. Let me grab this actual. I think I have this footage and/or image of this vessel that I want. That is at the Nubian Museum. We just have to flip through this and find it here. I mean, that's like that one. We talk about imitating stone here in a minute, but I'm pretty sure the one at the Nubian Museum is the one I want, because the British Museum one's cool too, but let's go Nubian Museum. Flashy images. Seizure warning. Oh, God. I just grabbed fucking everything, didn't I? That's a cool imitation. Like, that's literally... This is imitating granite. Like, this is dotted to look like granite. This is like primitive pottery. If you can't tell me that the people that made this also had the capability to make perfect granite vases that, you know, were obviously rounded like this. It's so stupid. They're just imitating stuff. I mean, it's just primitively... I mean, this is another example. Hardstone pottery. What do you think it's trying to look like? This fucking thing's corundum. I mean, look at these. These are beautiful. I'm liking that this is so long because I get the chance to put in some like really obscure vases that people haven't seen many pictures of, just because they're all hidden away, and stuff like this just hidden away in these dusty cabinets in the Cairo Museum, and I've been photographing them for years. Stuff like this, like, come on. Is it imitation, 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 imitation? Like direct imitation, you know? Imitation. This is the Grand Egyptian Museum. Here we go, finally. All right, that's the picture I'm looking for. I also happen to think that I've got video of it. Let's have a look. We'll grab these two. These burials. This is all the pictures that are in the museum. Let's just grab these for now. We'll go finish up what we're doing. Where are we? Get everything out the way a little bit. Move. Which is very similar to this. It's not the same one. Looking at it. But it's similar. Which is very similar to this one housed in the Nubian Museum. In fact, it might even be the thing itself. I should cut that out. Which is very similar to this one housed in the Nubian Museum. In fact, it might even be the thing itself. Housed in the Nubian Museum is just one of many examples. All right, we need some more examples of examples that have been painted to imitate the swirls of breccia type of stone. And there's no question that... All right, I need to get more. We were just looking at them, and now we need to get them all again. My bad. Slice those waveforms? Yeah, I gotten pretty good at it. You know what's amazing? I figured this out finally because I'm dumb. Is I worked out the synchronize tool in Premiere Pro. So now I'm like recording with the little mics, me and Yusuf, and then I can synchronize me and him, and then I can synchronize the little video clips that because I'm not, you know, these are on for like 2 hours, but I'm not constantly recording with video for 2 hours. So I can just easily take the clips and just synchronize them into that audio recording. It just makes it so much easier than trying to find and figure out. Will this vase talk about what machinery you think they used to make the vases? I mean, I do mention it because, well, there's, you know, you have to, in the context of our current capability, it's a 5-axis CNC. So I do kind of mention that, but do I get into specific speculation about that? No. This is more just reporting on the data. God damn it, Ben. I just did this, didn't I? Oh, fuck. Alright, so that's an imitation. Let's just move these up to the imitation ones. There's an imitation. Imitation. It's a nice one. It's British Museum. Imitation. Not imitation. Not real imitation, more decorative. This is pre-dynastic, funny. Pyramids. Huh, how does that work? It's like that ostrich egg that's in the Nubian Museum. It's pre-dynastic, but they're drawing pyramids. Weird. Weird. And also, we just want to do this. Insert frame hold segment. Stick that up there. Ripple delete. Alright. And we might even grab this unlink. Grab this too. Fuck it. Leave it up there. Just do that. No, don't want to control C it, Ben. You fucking idiot. Let's just find some more imitation here. Where's that imitation? I know I've got this one, but I'm sure I've got better pictures of that. The problem is too, I go back year after year and I end up taking pictures of the same shit. Because I don't really, like I said, it's like, 20, 30, 40,000 pictures. And it's, you can't quite keep track of what you've taken pictures of and what you haven't. So I just tried, you just end up taking lots of pictures. This vase we're going to talk about, this is amazing, this thing. We get into the imitation section here, I'm pretty sure again. Where was that imitation one? That was in here somewhere, wasn't it? This is these two here, but I've got a better picture of it. I just love this thing for some reason. I didn't realize I had this picture until just recently. I'm like, I love this little thing. I kind of want to talk about how stupid it looks and how like it's just a contrast of capability to me. It's like, what do you think this is? Like, who made this? And then who made this? It was the same people apparently. So it's such a, I mean, you get into the details of it. It's just silly to suggest it. Let's see. Come on, where are you? There's one. Same thing. No, two different things. Oops. Whatever. Oh, that's imitation. We're going to talk about imitation. Whatever. Did it again. I think that's the image we just used, yes. I'll grab that as well. We got those already. Okay. Grab any more? I think this one. Okie dokie. I'm always doing this too. I'm just shifting stuff around just because it's annoying. It's in the way. Okay. Where were we? Here. Similar to this one, housed in the Nubian Museum, is just one of many examples that have been. Where are you? Where are you? You're up here. Yep. What do I say? I just need to... That have been painted to imitate the swirls of breccia, a type of stone. And there's no question that this is in fact an imitation of harder stone vessels. Other pottery vessels have been painted to imitate things like granite or other. We'll do a little Ben face break here. Very similar to this one, housed in the Nubian Museum, is just one of many examples that have been painted to imitate the swirls of breccia, a type of stone. And there's no question that this is... How close do we want to get here? Like this? I always like to include the stupid little pyramid in the background. Is in fact an imitation of harder stone vessels. Other pottery vessels, right about there. We get to go with other pottery vessels. Then we do our little video. Is what's going to happen here. All right, let's see what this looks like. I should just keep up with this little bit of editing here while we're at it. Oops. Okay. And there's no question vessels have been painted to imitate things like granite or other stone types. And that are indeed imitations is an acknowledged fact mentioned in museums and by archaeologists. Again, it's not controversial. For example, you can read what Sorry, chat. We're just jumping around. Which message retracted? Sorry, I'm not. I know this is where I get like locked into what I'm doing. Let's see some chat here. The vases have the same communication styles as pyramids. I'm sure there's mathematics. Well, there is. Yep, there's definitely some of the lug handles on vases also don't function very well as handles. I mean, that you couldn't get under them. Comedy super zoom, yeah. I can see Imhotep being a pyramid builder and hoarding these vases, not a coincidence. Well, that's actually what happened. It's acknowledged. Which lapel mic? I use the newer CM28s. The newers are fantastic. They're much cheaper than the Rhodes and the the whatever the DJI stuff. Let's see Twitch. Please buy a Patel Havoc. Yeah, those cracks. No, they won't answer your question. If it's a big look, have you ever tried using one of those things in a big open space? You can't see anything. There's not enough light. It's just going to be black. Those things are meant for like drain exploration and like little tiny tight spaces where and the focal distance you can see inside, like a drain. It's if you're opening up into a cavern, a snake or an endoscope's not going to see anything.
And you've been to Giza.
Somebody's gonna send
No,
me money,
I've never
oh
been to
boy!
Giza. Oh, dear.
Dankledor's just resubscribed for
I wonder
38
how
months.
Ancient Sanctum is
Lots on
doing.
months. I wonder how Ancient
Thank you very
Sanctum
much,
is
sir.
doing.
You're a gentleman and a scholar.
Yeah, man, I do. Thank you so much for the 38 months, dude, as well. 38-month streak, Dan. Cheers, buddy. And yes, I do also wonder how Ancient Sanctum is doing. She tweets me occasionally on Twitter, here and there. So I think she's just, life seems to be... Life finds a way. Or, it's just life in the way sometimes, I guess. I don't know. I haven't really spoken to her. And by archaeologists. Again, it's not controversial. For example, now we can show the thing here. Shorten that up a bit, move that. And we're just going to have to go back and make sure that we've got enough motion on everything here. Do we have motion on this stuff? We do have some motion, so we definitely have motion
Which
there.
is very similar to...
So now we'll do this. We do this.
Imitate these swirls of breccia. And there's no question that this is in fact an imitation of harder stone vessels. Other pottery vessels have been painted to...
Okay. I do make the point, I'm not making it here, but I make the point that, we do the same thing with our granite, with the granite recreations, we're making in concrete. We basically paint concrete to look like granite in the same way this is dotted to look like granite. We need one of these.
By archaeologists. Again, it's not controversial. For example, not controversial. For example, you can read what the British controversial.
Ancient Egyptians long believed that
For
models
example,
and imitations
you
could
can read
magically
what
be
the
transformed
British
into
Museum
useful items
says
in the
about
afterlife.
these
Models and
imitation
foods and
pottery
weapons
vessels that are on display in their
So I need to actually have this on screen for a while, don't I? Same as this.
Not controversial. For example, you can read what the British Museum says about these imitation pottery vessels that are on display in their pre-dynastic section. You can see they're attributed to the Nakata culture. To the Nakata culture. Personally, I think you should be...
How long is this? 15 seconds. I'll give it another 15 here, I guess. Why not? I love this. Vessels laboriously carved from hard stone were very expensive and held oils and ointments that were probably even more valuable. The oils were even more valuable than the hard stone vessels. Okay. An imitation could magically supply
both the container and its contents for the afterlife. Here, the spot's spiral decoration mimics the limestone breccia of the jar. The wavy lines painted on the handles evoked a shimmer of gold foil, which was added to the most lavish stone containers. Ben, have you had a chance to see Mr. Beast's pyramid video? He got some answers. Yeah, I heard that, but I haven't seen it. No. Nope. I don't have time to watch Mr. Beast. Has anyone ever checked traces of oils? Has anyone checked? No, as far as I know. And we've looked and we've not found anything, at least on the fragments that I've had access to. Personally, I think you should be a touch skeptical anytime someone starts invoking magic, but the fact that they're imitations of hardstone vases is well established. So why am I making a fuss about this? I kind of want to shorten this up just a bit so I can... Let's go 13 seconds. 13 seconds. Imitations of hardstone vases. Why am I making a fuss about this? Well, it's a bit of a meta point, but why would you make... maybe not. Fuck it. This. Well, it's a bit of a meta point, but why would you make pottery imitations of something if that something wasn't known to the people making the pottery? Why would you make imitations of something if you actually were able to make the thing itself? The fact that we can see imitation the fact that we can see imitation pottery vessels in these photographs clearly illustrates that these people who lived well over... Where are the photographs? Where's that photograph? Kings of the time recognized the sophistication more than 10,000 hand-formed primitive pottery. Make the thing itself. The fact that we can The fact that we can see imitation pottery vessels in these photographs clearly... All right, good. Photographs clearly illustrates that these... Sorry. I know this is probably irritating to watch at some level. There's not much I can do about it. This is editing. Oh shit, what happened there? Not what I meant to do. Delete. All right, we're going to watch this section back in a second here and just see. Let's see how we go here. The fact that we can see imitation pottery vessels in these photographs clearly illustrates that these people who lived well over 10,000 years ago were well aware of and in possession of these remarkable hard stone vessels. Okay, I don't like that because it's just that is referencing Nakata culture there. So what we're going to do is show a burial, a recreation burial that's in the museum. There it is. Come on. photographs clearly illustrates that these people who lived well over 10,000 years ago were well aware of and in possession of these remarkable hard stone vessels. Personally, I think these imitations are there because they simply weren't able to. In possession of these remarkable hard stone vessels.
I've thought about buying a vase exactly 0 times in my life. Yeah, they're expensive now. Zahi. Well, yeah, Zahi's the guy. I mean, anything that's going to get publicity and, he's going to get involved in it.
Personally, I think these imitations are there because they simply weren't able to make the hardstone vessels themselves. Everything we know about these cultures suggests they were exceedingly primitive, with no capability for advanced stonework. No other forms of advanced stonework are found in these burials. Just artifacts like...
Okay, now we need some other stuff here. We actually need... I think we talk about the burials here.
1,000 years ago. The burials themselves are...
Yep.
Pottery vessels in these photographs.
We are going to do this.
That these people clearly illustrates that these people who lived well over 10,000 years ago were well aware of and in possession of these remarkable hard stone vessels. Personally, I think these imitations are there. Personally, I think these imitations are there because they simply weren't able to make the hardstone vessels themselves.
Okay, so now we need some primitive, just some like bone and bead stuff, you know. The burials and what was found and things. I don't know if I've got it here. I do. There's that. That's one. So I do have some pictures of like very early. I probably have to go. We have to go look for this, I think. Matt Bell. Let's see. Okay. Yep, we're off. We're off again. I don't know if we have anything. Oh, we do have some stuff here, eh? Yeah, this is actually good. Let's unlink this and take this. This'll do.
In possession, patients are there because they're exceedingly primitive, with make the hardstone vessels themselves. Everything we know about these cultures suggests they were exceedingly primitive, with no capability for advanced stonework. No other forms of advanced stonework are found in these burials, just artifacts like fishbone combs, beads, and hand-formed primitive pottery. The burials themselves are primitive. Shallow graves with skeletons in the fetal position. So, how did these evidently primitive cultures...
What's the progression leading up to these vases? There's really nothing. That's the thing. They're very much out of place. It doesn't... My whole point, and I get to it here eventually. I know it's slow, but I'm going to save it here. It's the whole point is that it doesn't really matter, like, because people bitch and moan about Toshka and this claim that, oh, well, they were found in burials 15,000 years ago. First of all, we're going to get to the bottom of that. We actually have appointments to the museums that did the excavations. and we're going to go in and find out, because there's really no records online other than the photographs and some vague descriptions of wares, which could be stoneware, could be ceramic ware. We don't really know. I think the meta point that you see imitation vessels in there proves it, and also the fact that you fucking see the stone vessels in the pictures. Anyway, but people bitch and moan about it. But we'll get to the bottom of it. The second point I'd make about it is it doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter anymore. It doesn't matter because they're absolutely 100% found in pre-dynastic burials, like Nakata culture stuff. That's not, it definitely 6,000-7,000 years old, right? 100%, no question. The question is about were they found in 15,000-year-old burials. You're basically talking about the same cultures, like the same people, the same the same primitive cultures with fishbone combs and beads and no other forms of stonework. In fact, you can extend that right up to the first and second dynasty as well. There's really no other forms of advanced stonework from the first and second dynasty. Just the vases. I mean, the schist disc, all this stuff, just vases that are attributed to that period. So you just end up with the same problem. How do you attribute these significant advanced objects to those cultures? You really can't. There's no indication that any of these people had the capability to make them, regardless of whether it's the first two dynasties, it's pre-dynastic cultures like Nakata, or it's Toshka and Kush and things 15,000 years ago. You have the same problem, the exact same problem. You're just kicking the can down the road. You're not solving the problem. It's like, well, where do they get them? They obviously had them, so they must have found them. If they didn't make them, they had to find them, or they had to inherit them, or they had to rob and dig up older tombs and get them, or something, right? It's somebody made them. Somebody brought them to, I don't know. It's like that's the problem. It's like you can't say, oh, they weren't in 15,000-year-old burials, therefore case closed. The Nakata people must have built them. And, the first two dynasty people built them. There's no indication that they could do that. There's hardly any at all. You actually have the same, even in dynastic Egyptian times. This is like the problem when you run into the alabaster vessels and the other primitive forms of stonework, the tale of two industries. This is the whole point with the vases. Like, people that make videos that like nitpick shit like that, or it's just like, they're lying when they say they're 15,000 years old. It's nothing more than an obfuscation and a distraction away from the logical inconsistencies in the story that should be throwing up all the red flags. It's just a distraction. It's red herring. It's bullshit. So, I'm trying to make that point. I mean, it takes me forever to do it, but, themselves are primitive. Shallow graves with skeletons in the fetal position. So, how did these evidently primitive cultures end up with precision stone vessels?
What's up, Randall?
What's up? Well, it's the exact verse of the vectoral summation of all terrestrial gravity.
Pop-Tarts, thank you for the raid with the...
Pop-Tartsman24 raided my stream with 1 viewer.
With 1 viewer. Thank you, bro. Appreciate it. Hope you had a good stream, wherever it was. Zerm, hello? Now we're buried again, just in a cabinet deep in museum storage. Yeah, pretty much exactly true. Yeah, so... Primitive cultures end up with precision stone vessels in their burials more than 10,000 years ago. Well, as a culture that was working with primitive stone tools and making pottery, they would have... All right, let's keep up with our best practices here. Do a bit of the... a bit of this. Bit of this. Bit of this, bit of this, bit of this. All right. In their burial, and up with precision stone vessels in their burials more than 10,000 years ago. Well, as a culture that was working with primitive stone tools and making pottery,
they would have immediately recognized the sophistication and elegance of finely machined hard stone vases and bowls. They would have become important, prized, and valuable items. They would have moved through to the top of their social structures. They would have then been imitated in things like pottery, and then have been buried with the warlords, leaders, or kings of the time. And then...
All right, let's just put that there as a marker. I need some more pictures and videos. Let's grab that. That's actually better. Even though it's yellow, is what it is. Let's grab these three here, just as a nice little sequence. This was actually buried 960. This was, okay, 961. All right, I just realized something. Did we grab these already? We did. Hey, Squoblat, man, the £5, I think. Is that euros or pounds? I think it's pounds. Ben, do you think this project will inspire people to look for precision in more ancient objects from other cultures? I certainly hope so. There is some of that work actually has been happening as it happens. There are objects from places like Turkey where you have, you know, tribological analysis has been done on some obsidian rings and things like that pretty much dated to 9,000-10,000 BC. So there is that effort has been ongoing in some places, but yeah, I hope so. I mean, I think, and honestly, we have been doing scanning of other artifacts in Egypt, not just the vases. I mean, I think the vases is just the starting point, to be honest. I'd love to see this extended to boxes and all the other stuff. Just getting more information about all of it, really. Yeah. So I hope it does, and I think this coming year, I mean, there's just like a lot more legitimacy behind this now, like an actual institutional interest in it. You know, Adam Young's starting up a non-profit, the Artifact Foundation, and you know he's already been funding research, and we did some of that in December in Egypt. It's one of the things I'm going to talk about in this video. You know, we're 15 minutes into it now, but you know, it's like the voice alone is like an hour 40, and it'll probably be near 2 hours because I'm going to add in little bits of like real-time footage and stuff as we go. So we'll see. Leaders or kings of the time. Actually, I do want to get another picture here. Where's the... I need that. I don't need that. Good. Or kings of the time. And then we find them when we excavate them thousands of years later. Where did these people get them from? Could they really be? Who knows? And then we find them when we excavate them thousands of years later. Where did these people get them from? Or how old could they really be? Who knows? Maybe they found them.
Who knows? Maybe they found them. Maybe they inherited them. Or maybe they robbed even older burials and claimed them for themselves. After all, this is exactly what happened. We're going to do something clever here. Do something a little bit clever, if we can. Boom, boom. Exactly what happened. Pharaoh Joseph. After all, this is exactly what happened in the early dynastic times. Pharaoh Joseph in the 3rd dynasty. What software? Premiere Pro. Working, unfortunately? Yeah, man, I know. All the vases made from stone quarried locally, not remotely. No, in fact, we don't even know where the quarries are for some of the stones. You bury someone with vases? I think just because they're valuable, they're treasures. I mean, you know, I don't really know. Pharaoh Joseph in the 3rd dynasty basically robbed older tombs to make his vast collection of more than 40,000 of these vessels. Might be time for some Joseph footage. And it's an acknowledged fact. It's one that you can read on the walls of the Imhotep Museum, that many of them are inherited. And it's an acknowledged fact. Okay, I've got to go get that fact. Where is it? That's... Nope, 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 nope. Nope, nope. Nope. I mean, this is us scanning beneath the step pyramid here. This happened in December. Like, we're down at the bottom of the step pyramid here. Pretty cool. So we do talk about that sort of stuff in the video. We get there eventually. And just rummaging through all of the fucking pieces and parts down there.
Pretty large piece of a bowl. Should I try to just get it out of there?
See if you can take some shit off the top, maybe.
Like, this is literally, look at all these piles. There's piles and piles of fragments.
I haven't seen the quartz.
Just that little chunk.
Yeah.
You hear him just rummaging through it, like look at all these fragments of vases. Like, just
alabaster bowl full of fragments and tossed it back here.
Kyle's like climbed over in there, just it's like Scrooge McDuck diving into the sea of gold. He's just like, shh. Look at this thing. I think he yeets something out of here. It's pretty cool.
Wow.
Jesus fucking Christ. This is good because it's all the way to the edge.
So you have from the center tube drill, and it runs all the way to the edge. So you have like the whole profile of the vase.
This is gonna be hard to scan.
Well,
look at there's no reference. See what you can do.
All right, we good for now? Yeah. Okay.
Pretty cool, huh? Like, this is... it's just like... It's pretty mad, like, the amount of shit that is in here. Like,
porphyry?
Yeah, that is nice. Yeah, porphyry piece.
Yeah, so there's tons of this stuff down there. We were, like, getting in there and getting amongst it. However, what was I looking for? Now I've forgotten. I was looking for that thing in the museum, wasn't I? The picture in the museum. Okay, we need to go find that. We'll get to that stuff. Like, it's coming. This is how long the editing takes. Like, I'm literally just... I mean, I've been editing for a couple of days, and I'm 15 minutes in of what will nearly be a 2-hour video. Workmatic, please consider supporting Ben's high-quality value-for-value content. Dude, thank you so much. Workmatic with the $10, man. Thanks so much, man. You're so generous to me, dude. You have been a big supporter. One of the best places you went to on the trip. Yeah, Suavi over here in Twitch is one of the people that's been on the trip, as is Dragonese has been on the trips. Pottery often has lids made for that piece. The lids for these vases no more than clumps of clay shoved into their tops. Yes. Yeah, I have tons of footage of that too, of the said lumps of clay. All right, here we go. So this is actually the... I hope I have the images here. This is the right location. Hopefully I've taken the pictures, unless now I have to... This is Cairo Museum. Not what I want. What I want is this here, which is Saqqara Museum. See if I did manage to film it here or not. I feel like I did. Yeah, that's it there. So we just grab this. Otherwise have it.
Is this number 8? We need to look for more pieces with the striation on the outside, like the one we saw, the shard of underneath the pyramid.
I think I have my little torch here. You know.
I haven't watched any of
If the striations are not there.
This is just needs a little adjustment, I think. Yeah, it does.
This one's polished on the inside, looks like.
It is polished on the inside. Yeah, all these were broken.
Can we talk about this? Let's see. Play.
Like the pounders that they used to recycle granite.
So
they call it
dolerite?
speckled. They call it
dolerite?
Speckled dolerite.
Yeah, I think it needs to go back just one. There we go.
Dolerite?
Yeah.
It's alright. And here's the other dude yapping.
And then these, just the handmade versions.
Matt Beal showed the lug hounds are slightly close together on one side and the other, at least on one or two of the vases, right? I don't know if that's the case for everything. Okay, fine. I'll just grab it from here. Let's just grab... that whole thing. And then we can mess with it out here. Unlink. Go away. I don't think we need the audio here. Let's just do... insert frame, hold segment. That'll do for now. Shit, am I gonna... Yeah, I thought so. Fuck. Let's just grab it. Okay. Sorry, chat. I know this is pretty time consuming. But this is my life. This is what happens. Of these vessels. Pharaoh Djoser in the 3rd dynasty basically robbed older tombs to make his vast collection of more than 40,000 of these vessels. And it's an acknowledged fact. It's one that you can read on the walls of the Imhotep Museum, that many of them are inherited heirlooms. Let me draw something here. Is there like a different... How do you get a different tool going on this thing? Touristic BS. Yeah. I'm sorry about the ads. It is what it is with Twitch. I don't really get a choice.
And you've been to Giza.
Somebody's gonna send me money, old boy.
Happy anniversary subscribed for 12
Thank you very
months.
much, sir.
Happy
You're
anniversary
a gentleman and a
pause.
scholar.
Happy anniversary pause. Yes, A Mizzy, thank you for the 12 months over on Twitch. Much appreciated. Cheers. Thank you. Okay, so we can back this up even a bit. These vessels. And it's an acknowledged fact. It's one that you can read on the walls of the Imhotep Museum, that many of them are inherited heirlooms that were recovered from other tombs or from earlier times. Despite the clear photographic evidence for these stone vessels and the clear logical evidence, okay. Or from earlier times. Despite the clear photographic evidence for these stone vessels and the clear logical evidence with the imitation pottery, some people seem to get all worked up about the claims that stone vessels have been found in 15,000-year-old burials. Well, we can't visit these sites anymore, as today they're all under the waters of Lake Nasser, the largest man-made lake. I feel like I've got some footage of Lake Nasser, and it is not in my directory, so we're going to go find that real quick. Let's see. It was the one time that I went down to, I believe in 21? Probably 2021. Pocket Osmo. Did I do it in 21? I feel like maybe... Oh, yeah, I did. That's it there. Okay. Yeah, this is like NASA. Alright, this will work. Abu Simbel. Sauce. Let's do A2V3, that way we don't fuck it up. I think that sweeps better, isn't it? Like from there, sweeping back that way. Yeah, that'll work. We just do one of these, should be fine. Yep. Old burials. Well, we can't visit these sites anymore, as today they're all under the waters of Lake Nasser, the largest man-made lake in the world, which is there and flooded these sites as a consequence of the building of the Aswan High Dam on the River Nile. Oh, it's the same thing. Let's get a picture of the Aswan High Dam, shall we? I don't know if I've got one. Grab this thing. Let's see. Aswan High Dam. D-A-M-N. I'm just used to that, huh? There we go. That's more like it. Picture. Edits. Face scan. Update. That's one high down. Oh, are you serious? These Webm, this bullshit with the. Wow. Fine. Make me do it the hard way. I'll do it the hard way. They're my pixels, goddammit. Not. Last one. Damn. Thank you. How annoying, you know? Like, all I want is a picture, and then it's like, no, you got to do the Webm thing, make it difficult, like, so then it won't import it into the file, and you got to like go and do a screen capture. On the River Nile, and turns out I get it anyway. In the 1960s, the reality is. The reality is these photographs are about all that's left in terms. All right. No background music today. Yeah, YouTube would demonetize me. Yeah, if we go on Twitch, I mean, maybe I'll, when I take a break, I might, I don't know. How many people here? We got 55 on Twitch. We got 55 on YouTube. Look at that. Is it all the same people just helping me out and being on both? I don't know. If I do direct on Twitch, I'll probably do some background music. But yeah, Twitch uses far more bandwidth. Okay. Why is there little interest from mainstream archaeologists on the topic? What's their reasoning? Curious. Well, I do talk about it in this again, but I just don't think they have much to offer. They've never really been interested ever in how these things are manufactured. Like, they just don't really care. They care more about what's written on them, what was in them, how they were used in the society. They're not engineers. They have no curiosity when it comes to precision and, you know, manufacturing. So I suspect there's a lot to do with that. I do talk a bit about Flint Dibble in this one, and people are like, you should debate him. I'm like, well, what's the point in doing that? He's got nothing to offer on the topic. And he's never going to accept the precision or engineering, you know, aspects of the discussion. It's going to be just waste of time. We'd be talking past each other. He'd be talking about dick bones and foodways in ancient Greece, and I don't care about that. And I'd be talking about engineering and precision, and he doesn't care about that. So I just don't think there's any point to it. well, never really been interested in the truth, I guess, but it's more that they just don't have the... I mean, you don't know. It's like you need the context to be able to understand what it is you're looking at. You know what I mean? So it's in some ways, it's the same thing as like we never... Before the Industrial Revolution, we didn't have the machining or manufacturing context to understand what we were looking at in ancient Egypt. It wasn't until guys like Flinders Petrie, who had a bit of that knowledge, could look at things like tubular drills and saw cuts and go, wow, something happened here. Like, because this is mimicking and looking like industrial processes that we do, but it's like beyond what we can do. And before that time, when it was the Arabs or it was whoever else, the Romans before that and the Greeks, they just didn't have the context to look at those, look at things like machining marks and understand what they are. To some extent, it's the same case with Egyptology, like and guys like Flynn Dibble. They're not experts. They don't have the context to understand what it is they're looking at. It just looks like a piece of work stone to them. There's no difference to them between something that you rub on with an artisan is rubbing on it with another piece of stone and sand for a year versus something that's actually precise down to the micron level. He just doesn't. They don't understand what that means or how difficult it is or what it takes to achieve. So. And they didn't seem to have a lot of interest in engaging in it because, honestly, I think they know the implication of what it means. It's the same reason that archaeology and Egyptology has tried very, very, very hard to never, ever, ever admit that the groove on Petrie's core number 7 is a spiral groove. Under no circumstances can they do that. On its surface, it's like, well, who cares? Why do you care so much about it being a spiral groove? Well, it's because of what it means. And I think they understand that part, the implication part. So they're just going to play ignorant, ignore it, do everything they can to not acknowledge it. And that doesn't really give you like a fertile ground for a productive discussion of truth. Now, does it? Like, it's just, what's the point? On the River Nile in the 1960s. On the River Nile in the 1960s. Anyway, there's a little rant for you. I just don't think it's a useful way. I just don't think it'd be a useful. The reality is, these photographs are about all that's left in terms of records. The sites were excavated by mostly Harvard and Boston universities around the turn of the 20th century, and there's just not much to be found on the internet. There are some vague references to wares, which really isn't very helpful, as wares could be stoneware or ceramic pottery ware. Now, personally, I think the evidence is clear here, but we are going to get to the bottom of it. Copy. Paste attributes, motion, okay. We, being the Vase scan team, have appointments to visit these institutions. And from what I understand, the finds and spoils from excavations like the one at Toshka have been sitting around in cabinets, generally untouched, for 70 plus years, and we're going to go take a look, and I'll be there to document it. Cool. All right, what's next? I'll be there to document it. Here's the other point I'd like to make about this. The fuss and skeptical pushback being made. Let's do a bit of this. We can shorten this up a bit. To document it. Here's the other point I'd like to make about this. The fuss and skeptical pushback being made about sites like Toshka or the other very old burials, it really doesn't matter. Whatever arguments that are being made by skeptic channels with their grubby reaction content doesn't change the fact that these stone vessels are pre-dynastic. That's just end of story. They're pre-dynastic. Okay. I think it's time for some nice, lengthy video portion. There we go. Perfect. Let's do that. Do we ever? I don't even know if we used this before. That are being made by are pre-dynastic. That's just end of story. They're pre-dynastic. Whether it's 4,000 BC or 13,000 BC, you have the exact same set of problems for the mainstream story. You just can't explain the presence of precision. Wow. It's just like, it tells me not enough memory to open this page. Okay. I should have enough memory. I'm pretty sure I do. Let's have a look. Yeah. Let's see. 27 gigabytes of 63.8 being used. How do you figure that out? Whatever. You aware of the SARS bath? Yeah, it's a big granite tub. Yeah, I mean, they had, they had lathes. They had big lathes. You could mark that thing in the center and grind it out. I guess that's pretty much how it went. Low IQ. Yeah, I mean, it's like literally, I'm going to get into what Dibble said. I have the clips, bro. Like, I have the, where is it? I do have some, we have the meme. Uh-huh. Yep. Good luck with that, mate. Whatever. Yeah, we're going to talk about that. I do make some jokes. I can't help myself. I think I call him everyone's favorite budget Indiana Jones, and then I make a joke about his tiny hands. And that's about as far as I go. I feel like that's within the realms of, it's okay. It's not too insulting. But, he certainly said worse shit about other people, hasn't he? Like, you're a racist. Like this guy, I think he can handle a very small little poke at, his image with his little hat. I mean, it's so cringy. He just, he posts shit like, I went rocked out on Saturday night. It's like a silhouetted picture of him with his hat, and there's like some concert stage behind him where he's the darkness. Like, he's desperately trying to create an identity around, the hat he wears and shit. Like, I mean, it's just like, oh, come on, man. Whatever. Look, he's free to do what he wants. Not my thing. Maybe that's normal for archaeologists. Zahiwas does the same thing. Maybe he's taking a page out of his book. But, if I find it cringeworthy, then that's on me, I guess. Whether it's 4,000 BC or 13,000 BC, you have the exact same set of problems for the mainstream story. You just can't explain the presence of precision-made, but I won't. hardstone artifacts. We are going to throw in some clips. I got to find a couple clips. Like, I want the Mad Max one. That's bait. Like, I need that clip. I need something to do with red herrings. I know there's stuff somewhere about a red herring clip. We're going to do that. Within the context of these pre-dynastic peoples. Whether it's 15,000 years ago or 6,000 years ago.
Jamie, pull up Flint's sleeves.
Quibbling over the details and making it the central point of YouTube debunkings is little more than a distraction from the real argument. A red herring, if you will.
Yeah, so we need the red herring. Let's find a red herring clip. Let's see. What's the chances? Let's go to YouTube. Probably best chance there. Come on. Red herring. Red herring. Of course it's Trump, right? Let's go. Okay, it's a red herring clip, surely. There'll be somebody saying a red herring.
Mayor West, if re-elected, would you increase the frequency of garbage pickup?
Well, citizen, that's an excellent question, and I thank you for it. I think it's great we live in a town where you can ask questions. Because without questions, we just have answers. And an answer without a question is a statement.
Oh, I like him. He looks me in the eye.
I should put that whole thing in there, actually. It was fantastic. The kiss at the end. I have been enjoying Family Guy clips lately. If you ever really want to entertain yourself, go and find like Family Guy
just best clips, like just little clips like that. It's such a funny show. I mean, there's some of it's just cringy, and it's not. I don't know. I don't watch it all, you know, but I do enjoy like the people making highlight clips of the funny parts because, boy, some of them is funny. Oh man.
Okay, like right now, for example, the Haitians need to come to America for SVP because it was redistribute the food. Government could just get, mind you, that it.
Yelling. Red herring. Red herring. Red herring.
Thought you were pretty sneaky, didn't you, Mr. Samurai? Or should I say, red herring? Forget it, you dip.
Okay, that's a possibility. Communism was a red herring?
Proof. The gun is missing. Gentlemen, turn out your pockets. Ladies, empty your purses. Whoever has the gun is the murderer.
Brilliantly worked out, Wadsworth. I congratulate you.
Me too.
Shut up!
Now, there's one thing I don't understand.
Oh,
one thing? Why did you do it? Half of Washington
Someone
knows what
better
kind
say
of
red
business
herring
you run.
here.
You were in no real
Is that
danger. The whole town would be implicated if you were exposed.
I don't think they know my real business. Huh. My business
Susan
is
Sarandon?
secrets.
Is that who that is?
And a vet found them out for me. The secrets of Senator Peacock's Defense Committee, of Colonel Mustard's fusion bomb,
Colonel Mustard's fusion bomb.
Professor Plum's UN contacts, and the work of your husband, the nuclear physicist.
Wardrobe department definitely took some
it is
risks on the old plunge line.
You're
on
a
that dress.
communist.
You're a communist.
No, Mr. Green. Communism is just a red herring. Like all members of the oldest profession, I'm a capitalist.
Okay, what about that? If I just threw that in there, no, Mr. Green, communism is just a red herring. Would that work?
The oldest profession, I'm a capitalist. Herring.
Political. You're a communist.
No.
Yeah, I think the whole "you're a communist." I'm just gonna throw. Just because I think it's funny. The guy yelling "you're a communist." Let's do that. Let's just put that in there. Let me do a little start recording thing here. I'm just gonna hide my head while I record this. Hang on.
You're a communist.
Wait, back it up.
No.
Hang on.
It is political. You're a communist.
No, Mr. Green. Communism is just a red herring. Like all members of the oldest profession, I'm
Members of the oldest profession. Oh, okay, I get it. I'm just a capitalist. Yeah. You're a communist. It's definitely the cream here. I agree. Let's do it. Get rid of this. Okay, we got to find this again. Where is it? I know where it is. Control X. I'm going to put that in my common resources page. V paste. We're going to red communist red herring. Okay. Okay, let's go. Oh, the volume might be down a bit. Shit, doesn't matter. Whatever, we'll figure it out. Wait, back it up.
No.
Political. You're a communist.
No, Mr. Green. Communism is just a red herring. Like all.
Then the little extension on the gun's pretty cool too. God damn it. This is a problem with this. Unlink.
You're a communist.
Why is it doing that? Really? Try again. Why is it doing this? What the fuck? Why is it doing that?
No, Mr. Green.
That's all right. Okay, it's not that. Okay, that's fine. Let's turn that up a bit, and we will crop it. Hello. Left. Top. Right. Bottom. Cut. Link.
Red herring.
Yeah, perfect. Okay. Where are we putting that in? We got this here. To make your case. No. Here. Materials with precision. These are not simple. Nope. Of stone by hand. I've never said. Oh God, I'm just yapping here, aren't I? What the fuck? What? Don't bother responding to when I. Where were we? Here. Must be here. Of igneous rock. This same contradiction, the artifacts contrast. No, that's still not where we need to be. Here. There are some vague references to untouched for 70 plus years, and we're going to go take a look. Point I'd like to make about this. The fuss and skeptical pushback being made about sites like Toshka or the other very old burials, it really doesn't matter. Whatever arguments that are being made by skeptic channels with their grubby reaction, whether it's 4,000 BC or 13,000 BC, you have the exact same set of problems for the mainstream story. You just can't explain the presence of precision-made hardstone artifacts within the context of these pre-dynastic peoples. Whether it's 15,000 years ago, quibbling over the details and making it the central point of YouTube debunkings is little more than a distraction from the real argument, a red herring, if you will. Right there. Boom, boom, boom. The... What the fuck? Right about there. If you will.
You're a communist!
No, Mr. Green. Communism is just a red herring.
Perfect. These simple silliness. Ben's going off on these commentary channels. Yeah, a little bit. I go off on a few things in this video. It is what it is. It's just, it's going to be what it's going to be, I'm afraid. These simply aren't the humans who create. In fact, I think we put a picture in here. Surely we have a burial picture here somewhere. Yep, that'll do. You're a communist. That does make me laugh. A distraction from the real argument, a red herring, if you will.
You're a communist!
No, Mr. Green. Communism is just a red herring.
These... Yeah, I kind of need the full gun extension there.
These simply aren't the humans who created masterpieces of stonework, precise down to the micron or thousandth of an inch in exceedingly hard type. You should only have "You're a communist." No, I don't want to. I kind of need. It'd just be someone yelling "You're a communist." Like, it does need the red herring thing. So, but I just think the "You're a communist" thing is funny. I don't care. It's in there now. Of igneous rock. This same contradiction, the thousandth of an inch in exceedingly hard types of igneous rock. This same contradiction, the artifacts contrasted against the capabilities of the people, frankly also extends to the dynastic Egyptians. The point is somewhat redundant simply because so many of the vases have been dated to pre-dynastic times. It seems pretty clear to me that the pharaohs of the pre-dynastic times, it seems pretty clear to pre-dynastic times, it seems pretty clear to me that the pharaohs of the early dynasties had found, robbed, or inherited them, and that they weren't making them. Not for nothing, but this isn't a... We'll do what the channels do, with just, the jump cuts with the face, and that they weren't making them. Not for nothing, but this isn't a phenomena strictly limited to Egypt. Similar, precise... Okay, so now we need to get a couple of slides on Turkey here. Communist label. They found a massive piece of ancient metal in the Rekat Canal. Did they? Volky? Stoked for the new vid? Yeah, it should be a good one. I mean, it's... Good lord, it's taken me some time. How long have I been streaming? 2.5 hours, and we're literally 18 minutes in. Like, look at this. It's this far in. I kind of want to just shoot myself, to be honest. What do I make my own life difficult. Honestly, sometimes you go on YouTube, and I just look at, like, the content that gets, I don't know, 2 million views. It's just literally some dude sit there talking to the camera off the top of their head. Or it's just inane bullshit. Or some dude mowing a fucking lawn. Like, I don't know. I should just do that. I mow lawns. Maybe I should just set up a camera, time-lapse mowing a lawn, put that on YouTube. It just seems like the amount of effort that goes into these sort of productions. And it's just like, this is just old man yelling at clouds, obviously, the way the world works, or reaction content or whatever. But yeah, whatever. Anyway, what are we doing here? Similar Turkey. Okay. Let's see. I think we need to go back to our slides. Let's grab some slides. Maybe it's in here. Maybe we've already got it. Maybe we're not. Maybe we've already done this. Let's find out. Let's have a look. See. I haven't eaten anything today, chat, either. I'm going to probably take a little break here soonish. Vases? Turkey? We got turkey? We got turkey. Okay. Cool. I did already get this. So we're just going to throw this slide up and just let it speak for itself here. Similar Egypt. Similar precise stone artifacts have also been found in nearby Turkey. Artifacts that are also dated to the 9,000 to 10,000 years ago range. So something seems to have been going on in this region long ago. Machined obsidian rings and obsidian vessels, which can only have been created at the very least with high-speed precision lathes, have been found in primitive burials dating back to the very early Holocene. It's an interesting Holocene. It's an interesting topic, other ancient precision artifacts from around the world, and it's something that I plan to dive into in future content. One other aspect of these hardstone vessels Your content is needed, Ben. Otherwise, you want to sit down and start tube drilling. Steady incline of high quality viewers. You don't want those types of clicks. And I get it. I know. It's fine. Look, and I've got nothing to complain about. Let's be clear. Like I'm privileged and honored, and it's a huge. I mean, just privileged is the word to be able to do this for a living. Like at least as long as I can do it. I do need to write this book. I mean, I have been working on it. I would love to transition to more of an author, like to have like, not that it would. I still will always make YouTube videos, but it would also be nice, honestly, if I could supplement that with, you know, another source, like significant source of income, essentially, and maybe a book is the way to do that. And I do want to write the book. It's not really just to make money. It's to So I think a book gives the amount of room and context to be able to speculate and really lay down what I think about this and combine all this work into one cohesive kind of piece. It's taking some effort, and I am working on it. I've been writing it, and then, but it would be nice to not have to rely so heavily on YouTube, essentially. And I'm very grateful for the support I get through YouTube, but and all of the work that happens there. But there's still pressure. Like if I don't put something out in a month or 6 weeks, or I'm traveling or whatever, I mean, I have a baseline. It's fine, but you do see it starts to tick down. You know, like it's just you see it. So you have this publish or perish kind of mentality where, like right now, I feel I'm under pressure. I mean, I did a live stream the other day, but hardly anyone watches it because I didn't really give anyone a heads up. And then I just these videos do genuinely take a shit ton of just research and effort and time, and particularly if you account for all of the years of sort of knowledge and research that go into them in the first place. But just the premise, the writing, the research, that part of it, to get that 14,000 word script to a place where I'm happy with it, and it's something that I'm willing to sit down and say and then put out where the world can see it. It takes some time and effort, and so it's difficult for me to do more than say one of these types of things a month. Because I've literally been working on this pretty full time easily for 6-7 weeks. Like just the writing and this, like the amount of this script's been in motion for a long time. I have a bunch of scripts like that where I'm continually sort of chopping away at them, and then once I focus in on it, it's like it becomes like it's all you do. You just get up and write, and you're all day. Like this editing, it's just because this is literally. I know it looks like there's a lot to go, but this to me feels like the final stretch. Because it's like this is the last step in what's been a lengthy process of getting to this damn point in the first place. I did this whole recording. It took me 2 hours to sit here and read the script. I think I did it 3 times, and in between each time I would review, and then you sit down, you review it, start editing it. I'm like, I don't like it, and I just didn't like my delivery. I didn't like the script in places, so I would rewrite. So I went through like 2 successive recordings and rewritings until I did it the 3rd time, and I watched it. And I'm editing it. I'm like, this is actually okay. Like I toned down. Like I was a lot more aggressive in some of the criticism of different people and stuff. And I do that way. I get my emotions out about it in the writing. And then when it comes time to record it and review it, I kind of cooler heads prevail a little bit, and I take out some of the more the vitriol that I might have written into it in the first place. Just my nature, I guess. And I've done that in a lot of videos. And I try to leave a little bit, or I tone it down, and I'm like, all right, be a bit more reasonable. Like, don't be just abused. I'm not like saying these fucking people. Like, it's not like that. I'm just making more jokes, Or my tone is like, you can tell like the first time I record it, my tone's a bit angrier than it is in this. And it's just because I guess I get it out just to myself, and then I'm like, fine, I don't care. So here you go. Like I said, it's just how the sausage gets made for me, at least my process, for whatever that's worth. The French writer uses research for his books to make some YouTube videos, interesting things. Well, at the end of the day, I have written more than enough. Consider this a vote for the Rage edit for Patreon. I do have the older versions of the scripts.
But I do try to be, sort of level-headed, and I don't want to descend to the. And I will never go down to the level of some of the people that have made videos about me, like they're just calling you names and whatever, right, insulting you. I'll never do that, and I'm not interested in doing that. Or engaging on that level. But in this video, we definitely talk about. I don't name names, but I get into the major criticisms of it and how like this is one where I think this whole idea of criticizing things like Toshka it is literally a red herring from the actual argument. It's an interesting topic. Other ancient precision artifacts. One other aspect of these hardstone vessels that's important to keep in mind, and one that I think gives further clues to their likely very ancient origin. Shit. All right. So I know what I'm going to say here, and I need to go and get some images from a different video. So what I might do, and I'm kind of getting hangry here. So what I might do, chat, let's see. I think I'm going to take a break. However, I will return. I will stream more today. We'll get back into this in a few hours, and we might stream like later tonight as well. Like just, let's say give it a couple hours, and then I'll just stream through for 3 or 4 more hours doing edits. But I need to take a little break right now, I think. So many thank yous to everybody who's joined me for the stream so far today. And like I said, this week I'm gonna stream a bunch of this. So if you like it, I'll be here. Just keep your eye on the Twitch channel or the Uncharted X live channel. I'm going to keep streaming on both while I'm making these edits. But I know I'm just going to do a bit more prep work while I'm off stream here for the next section of editing, because I know what I'm getting into here. And it should actually get a bit smoother once we get into this. I'm kind of covering some ground here, and then I get into sort of the updates about what's happened recently and the past work, and that'll certainly, I think, be a bit smoother in terms of the editing, and probably a bit faster too. Like we'll be able to make more progress. But yeah, you guys take it easy, and we'll catch you later on. Like I said, I will probably ping in the Discord when I'm going live again. But otherwise, yeah, expect it in a couple of hours. If you want to catch me doing more editing, I'll be here. You guys take it easy, and